All right, and welcome back from the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Wednesday, May 4th, 2022. If you've not done so already, like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, etc. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts and analysis. We're absolutely crushing it this year, and we are absolutely having a huge rally here on the FOMC day. So I'm doing this video a little early today. I got some obligations right after the close. Pretty awful timing because it is FOMC day, but we're going to walk you through this nonetheless here. So anyways, rally on our hands. And one of the things I tweeted out earlier, I made this known to members as well, but Janet Yellen was being interviewed earlier, and she said that basically she said a bunch of rhetoric about soft landing and, that's a priority and blah, blah, blah. And I said to members, watch Jay Powell. He's going to talk about soft landing. And you can see here we got this initial move up here. We started to sell off. Jay came on. He started talking. And then the second he said the word soft landing, this market rallied about 4 handles in about 5 minutes. And we are continuing to rally, major short squeeze here. And you can see what happened. So yesterday I talked about how we were, it was a little bit soured here on the move, because I wanted us to kind of move up ahead of time and really kind of put the onus on the bears and kind of put pressure on the bears. But they kind of did that this morning. So we bottomed out around 11:30 and then we started to move up, and I said, oh, okay, here we go. And I told the members this, we're probably going to get a dump on the FOMC and we'll put in a higher low and then we'll go higher. And that's exactly what happened. We made a higher low by about really not that much, about not even $1 on the spiders there, but a higher low nonetheless, and markets are surging to the upside. Now, there is a little resistance here on the spiders. It's actually pretty good resistance at 425, and then the highs here at 425.87. So a daily close above this red bar high would pretty much, in my book, clear you to the 50 moving average. You do have this pivot right here, but I think with enough momentum and enough volume coming in, this shouldn't make a whole lot of a lot of trouble for the market if we can get some follow through here. But nice little bottoming tail there at the lows. And again, same setup as last month. And I've really been saying this the last couple of weeks. Puts are loaded up for the month of May expiry. Bull bear ratio is there's more bears than bulls. AAII sentiment is at record lows. I mean, we're talking about 30 plus year record lows here for sentiment. Just everybody's bearish and everybody FOMOing into puts ahead of the FOMC. It's just, they basically priced in the sky is falling. And when that happens, generally you get moves to the other direction, assuming the Fed doesn't say anything crazy. Now, they did say that they were going to reduce their balance sheet starting in June by $47 billion a month. And I think they said that would increase to possibly $60 billion. I'm not sure when they said that, but that was something that they monitored. But right now, the big takeaway is the soft landing rhetoric. And that's really all. And to explain that, basically what that means to the market, at least in the short term, is the Fed's willing to pivot. So that's how you have to read that. Now, it's not saying that they're going to pivot anytime soon, but that's a good enough excuse for a rally. And sometimes that's all it takes. So we're concerned with this next move as swing traders, and we're just trying to make money on each swing. And that is what the market likes right now as we are approaching the highs of the day here. Russell 2000 getting back up to this white trend line here. Let's take a look at that on the daily. Oops. There we go. Daily at Russell 2000. So that was that green bar low here. If we look on the weekly, so that is starting to at least reclaim that. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to confirm below this level here. Not that it's a terribly, this was a bad, ugly close here on the Russell 2000 in any case. But they are saving this bottoming tail here on the weekly. So that is a good look here for the market in the short term. Let's look at the triple Qs. So triple Qs, nice surge again. We talked about the spiders. And again, not confirming below this double bottom area. So that is important. That is being defended. And look at all this chop down here. So it's like you got down to this area, you chopped, you hammered on it a bunch of times, and eventually if you can't break it, you got to go in the other direction. So maybe we need to make it a lower high on the triple Qs before this can break, but it does look like that is going to hold for now. But again, coinciding with that pivot on the spiders here is 327.23 on the triple Qs. Again, a close above that takes you right up to that 50 moving average. There's going to be resistance right here at about 337 though, and on the spiders that would be about 435. Yeah, 435, 437, somewhere in that area. And then that 50 moving average obviously would be resistance as well. Diamond here. Holding up nicely. You got that pivot there on the diamond there at 339.23. So that is your resistance level. Let's take a look at the semis, guys. We've been watching this for days. Guess what? I told you guys for the last week or so, look at that wedge. Watch the falling wedge, and that is on breakout now. Actually broke out yesterday and is now confirming today. So, and look at that candle, by the way. I love candles like this. Nice little test down here. Good volume coming in. We got about 50 minutes left in the trading day, so there's going to be pretty good volume behind this candle by the close. Assuming it closes up in this range, that is a very bullish look, a higher high there. Breakout of a falling wedge pattern. Nice look for the semis. And when the semis lead, there's nothing wrong with the market. Always remember that. So anyways, IGV here has kind of a similar falling wedge kind of pattern. It's a little bit sloppier, a little bit clunkier. But overall, you made a lower low today, and now you're reversing. So nice move there for IGV. Nothing wrong with that in my book. Dow Jones Transports, DJT. Interesting pattern. So we had the move down, and now I'll move up. And you could almost make a case if we start breaking higher here. Looks like we're very close to making higher highs. Let me just draw this in. You could almost make a case that you've got kind of a flag here. Yeah, so something like that. So those look like a possible little bullish chop here off the lows. And then your resistance here is going to be the 100 moving average. And of course, this red bar high. We'll see what it does if it gets up there. But nice little move for the transports in the short term. I don't see any problems right now. So let's talk about rates here. Very important. Rates may have topped. So this is very interesting here. So we got up above, so 3.11 or 3.011 rather on the 10-year. And we reversed. Take a look at the intraday. I'll show you the TLT because now the bond market is closed here. So the TLT here came down, went sideways. Then we had this big kind of bear trap, stop run, etc. And now the TLT ripping higher. So that is helping tech here. And bonds are starting to bid despite the fact that the Fed said that they're going to run their balance sheet off. So bonds are telling you that something's going on here. Maybe the market doesn't believe the Fed is going to run its balance sheet off. But in any case, we talked about this. I've been saying it for several days here. TNX is coming up into 3% right on schedule. And it's like, look how overbought it is going into this Fed meeting. I mean, you had to think that we were going to get some type of a short squeeze in bonds, and that may have started today. But again, not saying this is going to be the top in the bonds. It could be, but at the very least, I think we take out this pivot here and at least get back to 2.5, maybe 2.4. We'll have to do some work on that later. But overall, nice little reversal there for bonds. TYX, the 30-year, also coming off the highs as well. Still just above 3%, though, all things considered. And HYG, a nice reversal there as well, up 80 basis points, which is a big move for HYG. Nice little tail candle here. Kind of a morning star reversal, right? So big red bar at the end of a oversold move, gap down, doji candle, kind of a hammer at the lows there, then a morning star gap up, and now a tail candle and a nice little power surge there for HYG. So high yield debt may be holding up here in the near term, and of course that is always going to help the market out in the long run. Anyways, ITB home builders. So I've been telling you guys that I haven't wanted to short this yet, but it is getting up close to these levels now. Nice little pop to the 50 moving average. We'll see how it responds. If the rest of the market holds up for the next week or so, this will probably rally as well. So we'll be looking at these ones here, but nice little move there for the home builders. VNQ, not so much. I mean, it has a nice reversal here. Nice tail candle, but really a much weaker rally. And it got dumped really hard over the last 2 weeks. So this one is a weak industry group currently. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. XLF. So we talked about this yesterday and the day before, that downsloping trend line there, that getting pierced and now getting a nice little reaction off that. So you got these divergent kind of lows here, and it looks like we're going to close above this red bar high. So XLF, I'll give it the upside bias to about 37 here in the near term. So nice little move there. Let's take a look at broker dealers. Nice little bit up. We talked about that 400 level. Didn't quite get down there, but again, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Now we're going to watch this trend line here. Potential lower highs. There is a lot of resistance at 440. So it wouldn't surprise me to see it come up here and then back off and maybe put in a higher low. And then you could possibly break out of that little falling wedge. And then your upside there would be to this blue line potentially. So interesting little chart there on XBD. We'll be definitely keeping an eye on that. Energy. So crude, nice day for crude. No other way to put it. got a nice bit above this trend line. So I'm going to say probably at this point, assuming you can confirm and get close above this pivot here, so 109.20, I would give it the upside bias to at least 113, 113.50. It's going to have a good amount of resistance up there, and of course 116 is going to be good resistance as well. So we'll see what it does here, but you could still make a case, even if it makes a, let's say it gets up into this range here, it still has the potential to make a lower high. So we'll watch for that. But all things considered, a nice day for crude, and it's holding up pretty well. XLE did have a nice recovery today additionally, so a nice little move there. And again, we'll watch this upsloping trend line. It's basically back testing it now, so we'll see if that holds. I expect a reaction off of it. There's good resistance up here at $80, $81 there on the XLE. XOP, same kind of deal. There is good resistance around 143, 144, 145, somewhere in that area on the XOP. And OIH, obviously the same thing. A little bit weaker. You are filling that gap. Maybe it gets up to 290 or so, but a nice little pop there for the OIH. And nat gas really surging here, up 6% again. I'm gonna have to watch how this reacts here. So I don't necessarily have levels for it yet, but we'll see what it does. I want to see what kind of pattern it gives us. And then, you know, it could possibly be a swing short again, but it's very volatile right now. So we're just going to kind of leave it alone and let it show us its hand and tell us what it wants to do. You don't need to get in front of this and be the hero just yet. You know, we just took a nice profit on KOLD. But we'll see what we can get out here. We need to see pattern though on this one, and I'll try to get some levels worked out on this one. Anyways, let's move on to the dollar here. So dollar finally correcting, and I talked about this yesterday. I said, you know, it's starting to flag up a little bit, but a lot of the time when you get these bullish patterns at extreme highs, a lot of the time they fail. They tend to fail much more often. So dollar, again, very overbought. You know, I've been a dollar bull for a long time, really over a year now, and you know, it's so overbought here. You know, you went from 97.50 to basically 104 in what, a month? So, you know, a big move there on the dollar index, just got overbought, just like yields have. And, you know, you're going to look to about 101. So that's going to be good support there. That 20 moving average will probably give it some support as well. But then obviously your big level is going to be 99.50. That's where your big consolidation is there. And then I don't expect it to get through that, but if it did, 97 would be a no-brainer support level. So gold getting a nice move here off the lows. Nice little relief bounce for gold. It was way oversold. So that red bar high there is going to be resistance. Nice bounce there, but it's got to close above that to advance. So 1900 spot 40. For GDX, that's going to be this 36, actually, let's go right here. That's your gap window. So 36.17. And then, you know, you could possibly rally up here, fill that gap. You got the 20 and 50 moving average up in this area. So that will be resistance. Again, I still think 32 is the better area to buy it at. Silver here, getting a nice bounce. Again, way oversold. We've been talking about this for the last couple of days. Huge oversold. Notice how it didn't make a new low. So a little higher low and a nice bounce. So this has upside. Give it the upside bias to about 24. That's going to be resistance up there in that area. Platinum and palladium both getting a nice bid here today. Platinum up. Again, this triple necktie here of these three moving averages is going to be pretty major resistance short term. And palladium is actually flattish today. So still putting in an inside bar pattern here on palladium and not much doing so far today. Copper is green though. So got all the way down to that area around 425. That's where my support zone is, and it is being defended. We'll have to see if it makes a lower high, though, because that would probably signal it wants to hammer that 425 area again. Although I do think it is good support, it will probably eventually break if we get lower highs. Anyways, flipping over here to Bitcoin. So I've been saying last couple of days, it's got to show me something here quickly because it's really not oversold. It's kind of just drifting lower. And, you know, he kind of had these nice little inside bar patterns kind of playing out. And, you know, finally, Bitcoin getting a nice pop. Looks like it wants to contend and possibly close above that 20 moving average. Possibly get above this red bar high as well. But this is your big level here. So I've been saying that for the last week or so. 40,824. That's your area. If you close above that, Bitcoin can rally here in the short term. And with Ether, obviously the same thing. We pointed this out yesterday. Notice the higher lows here in Ether. So Ether's a little bit stronger right now. So keep that on watch, but take a look at 2946 spot 84. A close above that would be bullish. And then, of course, 30.36.92. That's your big level of resistance. You also have that 50 MA upsloping above it, although it is minor. And then after that, your major level is right about here at about 3,200. So that is what is going on with the coins. Let's flip back over to the spiders here. So I see the IWM in my screen here rallying really hard. Look at the spiders. So getting another pop here, 425.57. So let's just draw that in right now. So 425.87. That is going to be the level to watch. So we are currently above that. A close above that would be significantly bullish to me. And then your next level will be 429.64. But this area right here, would a close above that would be significantly bullish. So we'll be watching that into the close. Nice little bid here on the spiders. We got about 40 minutes left in the trading day. Again, doing this video a little bit earlier than normal. I got some stuff going on right after the close here. But I still want to get this information out to you guys, as this is a historically important Fed announcement, biggest rate hike in over 20 years here. Look at the VIX getting smoked. Let's take a look at the VIX here before we log off. So VIX coming all the way down to 26 now. So breaking through 28, got all the way up to 36 the other day, and now actually 36.64, and now down to that 26 handle. It's got support right at about 25. So we'll watch that area. You know, you got the 20 moving average there. So maybe it gets a bit of a bounce, but you know, the VIX is a spike index. So it can come up really fast and it can go down really fast too. And it can go through levels, you know, I would say 25 is a good psychological level and you got some support there, but there's nothing to say the VIX can't cut right through that. That's what the VIX does, especially if this market wants to rally up. And again, that 25 handle would probably coincide with this level here on the spiders. So we'll be watching that very carefully tomorrow. Obviously, a close above this area would increase the chances of that breaking, but we'll see what we get. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. You guys take care. I'm going to try and do a live stream tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.